that's when you know you've aged up a little bit. You feel, I guess you're only as old as you feel, and in that moment I felt old. But it's fine. Like it's you know, it's life, isn't it? It's life. But yeah, I think I'd love to do like some community like class or something like that. I think that'd be fun. I'm not sure how old you are, but I have friends from uni doing pole that are 30 plus, and the instructor I go to is 55. You're never too old to start. That's fair. That's very fair. It is very true as well. I think the thing that I would be, it's not the thing that I'm hesitant about. I think I think if it's like all one age group, I guess, and you're the only person that's not that age group, I think that can be awkward, though. I guess sometimes that's kind of nice as well, because then you can kind of learn something new. But I feel more comfortable in like much like a bigger range. But although to be fair, 30 plus and the instructor's 55, that's a pretty decent range. Yeah, I guess until you turn up, you just don't know. You just don't know who's going to be there. Right, there we go. We have one lovely and secure. And let's see if we cannot find our corresponding point on the other side. Yeah, I'm now like second guessing myself. I'm like, why do I find it uncomfortable when I'm like a vastly different age to everybody else? Interesting. Discuss. This is the thing. It's like if I had a therapist, he'd be like, "Can we talk about this? What's this about? What's going on here?" Yeah, age, as you correctly say, it's like never too old to start. I guess age is just a number. It's nonsense. It's meaningless. Ultimately. It's funny when I see things like, was it like, oh, I know there's like a cosplay account that's like over 30 cosplay, and it's like, there is this weird perception that like most people that cosplay are like, you know, teens or in their 20s. I feel like that's not necessary. Well, maybe that's the majority, but I definitely think there's definitely no upper age limit on cosplay. For sure. Like, so many great cosplayers of all ages. It does make me a little bit sad sometimes when, like, I've heard people sometimes say, it's like, oh no, I'm too old for cosplay. It's like, you're not, you're good, you're fine. Not sure, I think people like us who put this much work into it, because of costs are usually older. Oh, that's fair, yeah. Having the, I guess, the disposable income to be able to do things, certain, yeah, that's fair, that makes sense. Yeah, yes. Oh, that's, oh no, it's going miles away. Yeah, I guess like being slightly older, having a stable job, things like that can certainly help with hobbies. We were saying earlier, was it part of this same conversation? I don't think it was. There was a conversation earlier about hobbies being expensive as well, and it's like any hobby can be expensive if you work at it. I guess any hobby. Are there any hobbies that are just so inherently expensive that you cannot do this cheaply? Probably, they must exist. I'm sure there are always cheaper, more affordable, accessible ways of doing things. It's much cheaper to do it through uni. If you can do a couple of classes through uni first, and you can look at community class. I typically people 20 to 35 because it's not a cheap hobby. Yeah. I think that's probably actually a very sensible way to do it. For sure. And then also, if you go to it, I think the thing I like about community ones is like you're not locked out of it. Or like, oh, you graduated, right? Bye. Although I think a lot of societies are kind of open to the community as well. But yeah. Fabergé egg breaking. That's an expensive. Welcome back, Insect. Fabergé egg breaking. I love the idea that there's like a club. Oh my goodness. Yeah, yep, you know what? You're not wrong. It's like you have to practice on fake Fabergé eggs first. And then when you get good at that, then you can break a real one. With cosplay, it can depend on what type you're making. For instance, the pot of greed I made was not very expensive to make, since I had the paints already and picked up the foam board and packing tape from at the dollar store. Yeah, like I think the lovely thing about cosplay is that there are always interesting and creative ways that you can tackle things. So like you can have two people cosplaying the same character and have wildly different budgets and methods